Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to yet another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All stream. Sorry, my brain's not working right now, but that is a-okay. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Wednesday? Well, at least it's nice and sunny here where I live, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, so we're gonna be continuing episode 3. Last time oh gosh, so much happened last time. My stream cut out and now it's broken up into 2 parts, but that's okay. So we found out a little bit more information about what happened the day of the accident. That happened 6 months prior to the events of this trial. We also learned a little bit more information that just so happened to reveal itself the day before murder. And my theory is we met a gentleman last time. His name is Acro. He had a brother named Bat. Those are not their real names. But Bat was in love with Regina. Haha. Acro and Bat. welcome chat. But yeah, so Bat was in love with Regina, and she decided to be like, they did a dare, and she was like, if you stick your head in this lion's mouth, you can take me on a date. That's all he wanted. This man just wanted to wine and dine her, take her to the movies. And unfortunately, he got the Bite of 87 treatment, and now is lying in a coma. Acro, on the other hand, tried to save his brother, but was injured in the process, and now is a paraplegic, I believe? I don't know if he's lost feeling from his neck down or his waist down. I don't remember if they said that, but he's in a wheelchair now. So, my theory is that Acro wanted to kill Regina because she's the reason why he is in a wheelchair, but also the reason his brother is in a coma. But I think that the ringmaster was killed on accident. So I think this episode will be the final trial of the Turnabout Big Top. So gamers, grab a drink, grab some snacks. I got my water right here, and let's solve some crime. Let's do it. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Tee-hee. Hi, Regina. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. I mean, I also enjoy a good glass of milk from time to time, especially if it got some cookies, some Oreos. Chef's kiss. Regina throws cards at me. How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. I feel like she talked like a Valley girl. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. I don't like that lady. There's something about her that I just... Regina's different, don't you think, Matt? Nick? Wrong person. Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in the illegal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Hold on, chat. can't spell. Cupboard. Alright, sorry about that, chat. Top of the morning to ya, governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Cool. Sounds good. Alright, that's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. Early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Oh boy. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some. Why does this man drink milk? Like, he just... Is he lactose intolerant? Is that what's happening? Oh, my. Thanks. So how are you today, right? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our casual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro into the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Ooh, am I gonna get penalized for chattiness? Because that did happen to me. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. And she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. The plot thickens, chat. It thickens. Is it this one? There we go. Make it a little bit brighter. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? You've discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly from the scene of the crime. Order, order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene, on my orders. Or gumshoe, working overtime. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Even brought the birds! I'm so happy. Oh my god, there's more. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at Berry Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. Sorry guys, I don't have the vocal capacity to do a bunch of different voices, so... If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor, the crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Will you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. There's no light in his eyes. It freaks me out. Even the birds have little highlights in their eyes. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. Oh, excuse me. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Don't you bring my boyfriend into this. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. Give me more information about this. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said you were resting in bed? That is correct. But you're still able to hear a sound from outside? I was indeed. Maybe something was contradictory with there's nothing wrong. Hold on. Because he... What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. Let's press you a little bit more on this. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human flying by your window? Safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. I feel like this one's gonna be difficult, chat. Because the clown, the last stream, I remember the clown saying he also didn't see the white roses. So how was it that 2 people didn't see the white roses? Let's try it. There's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? I know I'm gonna get penalized for this one. I got nothing, chat. Got nothing. I got nothing, chat. Alright, well, I gotta pick something, so... because I know I'm gonna lose anyway. I know. I know. You just don't get it, do you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What don't I get? You're not gonna be able to get through this one with your usual bluff routine. Your client looks to be about ready to take off again. Straight towards a guilty verdict. You were bluffing? I will not forgive any more mockeries made of this court. Whoops. Witness, would you mind repeating your testimony? With pleasure. You said that you were resting in bed. Would one thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? Never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Are you sure it was a human being? Could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright, and testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you at that night. I believe it was human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony. Sheriff Acker's statement jives with the facts. There's nothing wrong. I didn't lose anything. When did you start thinking that what you saw wasn't a dream? That's not important. I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory. Just to make sure, let's ask the witness. Ow! Objection. Sustained. Don't sustain that. Acker must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick. Could have been monkey. Just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time I heard a large... Wait, didn't practice? I guess he's not practicing, I guess. Because practice ended at 10 p.m. But I don't have anything... Hmm. She's only 16? Dude's 21! Sir? Sir? That's a crime? This is also a crime? This is all- Guys, we can't be marrying 16-year-olds. I didn't miss any evidence, did I? Cause like, I am not very good. Oh! Wait a minute. Cause his hat was found at the crime scene, so if he floated up, the hat fall off while he was... Let's try it, chat. Let's see what happens. Light your room was turned off then, right? It's true, I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human flying by your window? Safety lights. To be honest, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on front. And said the person I saw was Max Galactica. Let's try it. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was given. It's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? Do you mean? The silk cat. What about the silk cat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat was found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max had two silk hats? No, this is a handmade one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means Acro. That you've been fibbing on the stand. Order, order. As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. You okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in the court today? Does he have a grudge against Max? I feel like just saying that he was the real culprit is not the right answer. Oh, the music stopped. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Balls to the walls, guys. Let's go. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at the audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. Birds. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. I'm being poked in the head by a hummingbird. That's so rude. He is staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusations? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a schmurder of all things. See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusations is ludicrous. Accusation. She's right, way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Is he really paralyzed, though? Because you can forge a doctor's note. What do we think, chat? Do we think that Acro had... Because I'm just trying to think. And my brain's like... Because the Schmurder note said... The Schmurder note said, to the Schmurderer, you haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago, have you? I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. The monkey could have helped him. I think he... You know what? It's impossible for Acro to be the Schmurder in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? You must not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright? It seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making other accusations. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's? I think it was the monkey. You don't say. The music didn't change. Uh-oh, this is suddenly looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. Oh, did you hear that? Hear what? Sound of you getting caught in your own trap. What a splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation is built on a solid foundation. Foundation. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person... the fact that he takes care of what? Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? Can I do it? It literally says a monkey who takes care of Acro. Well, who's to say that he didn't ask the monkey to go hit him? He offered him a shiny thing. He does like shiny things. Can I do it again? Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power. You didn't miss the sound, did you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You know, the sound of you receiving a penalty? This one's hard. What are you doing, Nick? What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? This one's hard, chat. Like... The problem is I feel like I'm lacking evidence. Chat, I do not know. Cause like, so if I say yes, and I blame the monkey, the problem is I don't think I have... Like, the monkey did steal my badge, but that has nothing to do with... Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of this mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. The music stopped. What? You're not gonna sucker me into this one. She did sucker me into it the first time. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? Sorry, chat. There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed the schmurder all by himself. Order? Order? What are you getting at? Try to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm gonna have to prove how this all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russellberry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do this. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Pretty sure he was in his room. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room? Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dingling? Let me hang out with the birds. Goodbye. It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. Seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. It's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? Whee! Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? I can't leave my room. I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Careful, Nick, if you mess up here... She's right, I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Time to enlighten us on how Mr. Present... Do I have the right evidence? Okay. I'm gonna present some evidence. Here's my evidence. Okay, and then... just gonna... that. This. What's that? A picture? This is indeed the problem. The problem with is this item... wow. It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust. It's quite a large bust, and because of it... wow. And because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! Oh, he's angry the birds are gone. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. His ditties gild him. Order, order. So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. Oh, thank you. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, 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 Acro, you can't... Ow. I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix, right? What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get a proper testimony from the witness himself. A testimony, you say? On karma. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of schmurder. The prosecution has a right to respond. No! Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. I was going to say to win a crime. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of the bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. Can't you just, like, wheel yourself? Like, I'm thinking, like, window, you wheel yourself and just up and over, you know? Doesn't have to be perfect. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would have been unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? You weren't aiming for him. Like, in theory, you might not have been aiming for him. You might have been aiming for someone a lot smaller who probably would have just anything. Just tossed, like that woman would have broke like a stick. I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. It wasn't possible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to an even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Okay. Suppose I could have lifted something that size of the bust. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. Alright. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa. How did this discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Sure. Are you fighting bears? In a wheelchair? Like, what's going on? And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out the window? How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. It's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not have been able to see out below the window. I'm just pressing them all because this case is difficult. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I could have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick? Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. That does make sense. Only I could prove somehow. Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. All you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right, I could have done that. However, there's no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick. Show him what you've got. I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with this case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something. To the back of the head. Let's see. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that much force on my lower body. It makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. What would show... Not that, not that. Victim was hunched over. Oh, it boasts a small but strong lock. Maybe we use the box? I haven't used the box yet. Screw it. Let's try. Oh. Acro. You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, may I add. You know what? That makes a lot of sense, because in the box was the pepper, and the pepper was what was put on his brother's clothes to make the lion sneeze and go. So, if he was looking in the box, and if that box was placed right underneath the window... See where I'm going with this, chat? Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix, right? Enough stalling, how about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. Same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over? Same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding a box, which means this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment as the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Oh, which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean, if the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No. Order. This is unacceptable. Finally, some of those loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward. Actually, I wanna go left. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow, ow. Lady, you're gonna make me pass out. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It has the most peculiar feature. The weight? Because they said it was heavy, right? That's the only noticeable thing, yeah. This 20-pound box, it boasts a small but strong lock. So, if the size of the box isn't there, the lock's not there, it has to be the weight, because that's the only other thing that was commented on. Smack. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight? According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. Yeah, you gotta bend at the knees. One would have to squat down, then lift up with their body, wouldn't you say? That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you would have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. You did do it. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... This is where the monkey comes in. This is where the monkey comes in. You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my window. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? Easy, the monkey. The monkey would have done it. Is the bust shiny? The monkey would have done it. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all. All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? This silly monkey. A monkey? Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Oh, the birds are gone. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Max probably polished that thing. Maybe you should put the whip down sometime and read the court record. Hi, those are very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Gah! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. Birds are just hanging. I love their little feet. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order, order. I said order. Miss Von Karma. Where's the bust in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. Let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the schmurder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the schmurder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Oh, he's pissed the birds are gone. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it is entirely possible for that Acro was the schmurderer. Moron! Don't call me an idiot, that's so rude. His argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow! Don't be so flamboozled. Especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud. You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix, right? And that is... you should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magician client was spotted at the scene of the crime. It was the birds. The birds wore the coat and the hat. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. Maybe this is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the schmurderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. Who was the schmurderer the clown saw? That makes sense, because if he did use the bus to drop... let's give it a try. He saw Max's Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère. Frère? Is that the... I don't know, I don't speak French. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? Simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. I mean, his titties are out. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain in this case at all? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to that bust. It'd be easy to hang one off. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hand. Idiot, who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance in this case, don't you agree? No, he can't. Let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? The last person, if I remember correctly, I think it actually was the ringmaster, because he took, if we, based on previous testimonies, if we came to the conclusion that the person that Ben and Trillo saw was the ringmaster, then he must have put the cloak on the bust. Because he was seen wearing the cloak. Fool! Him? Are you saying that it was the victim himself, Russellberry? That's what I'm saying. I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene, of course. At that time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his place and released the rope. Oh, because then when it fell, it probably like... Ooh. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant the bust hit the victim, I mean, yeah, I guess. You just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? Oh, and then he pulled it back up. That's how he flew. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the Schmurder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. Ooh. That, you know what? That makes sense. Makes sense, chat. And that is how the magical Schmurderer disappearing into the sky came to be. What? People don't like that? So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the Schmurder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. I'm sure he sure has. But he has to come to the end of his rope now. So... what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible schmurder. There is something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. I think it's the hat. The fact that he saw a hat go up and there was a hat left on the scene. The bust's hat can't fall off. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. The problem is Max has three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. The symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. Silk hat was one, and the white roses were another. But the theory I just presented explains all three of these contradictions. You fool! Do you even shut up? Ever shut up? Mac's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene of the crime was wearing a silk. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one. But what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he saw the witness's white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like you to try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? They're just on the inside. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. That makes sense. Order! Order! Nice. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick, and baby Vodkarpa will finally throw with the towel. Girl. And your birds. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Oh, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Easy. It wasn't supposed to be him. I've said this, chat. Chat knows I've said this. It wasn't supposed to be him. It was supposed to be Regina. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. His motive. Seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel it is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. Alright, chat. We got this. Alright. We're just gonna hop right into it while the gavel's hot, you know? Oh, cool. Lots of people are streaming. December 30th, 2:17 p.m. Can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is, and to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Ahem. Acro tried to pin the murder on you, of course. He did. Psst, psst. but I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Cough. Hey, pal. You're just gonna ignore me after all I went... Wow. You're gonna ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Ah, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, Detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? You've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Well, if you insist. Drinks the entire carton of milk. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Hey, oh, my head's in the way. Chat, this scarf is very familiar. I believe, hold on, where's my head? Where is head? Okay, so chat, y'all will remember this scarf is Acro's brother's scarf. This was the scarf he was wearing the day of the accident. Alright, so that's why we're gonna keep that in mind. Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensics results. Take a look at it later. Oh, Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. I was never here. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know, Miss Von Karma doesn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh, that reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. Bye, Gummy. What did he mean by the very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Ah, don't scare me like that. Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. It's a lot of milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all up before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? This guy really likes milk, apparently. Alright, chat, let's get back into court. Why is there so much milk? I know he's Maximilian Galactica, he's not Milk-Million Galactica, like, damn. Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Give me your testimonies. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Oh. Is Phoenix Wright also lactose intolerant? Did he have too much milk? Okay. Just gonna yoink. Cool. All right. Oh God. Can we not? Can we stop? When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. It's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. Became an acrobat around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro could kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. However, how could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I'll cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. Okay. Really quickly, I want to see that scarf stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. Okay, okay. Back. When we were little, we're just gonna press everything. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Berry Big Circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Ow! Sniffle, sniffle. No crying in court. Let's keep going. Sniffle. The witness may proceed with his testimony. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother, all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. The ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know. He seems like a very nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. Called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! Ow! No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Whoa. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. Trying to chase down the truth, but I just ended up looking like a jerk. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that. It is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why? Of course I can. Now that I've come this far, there's no way I could answer no, I can't. Oh, this is going to be good. Well then, please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the... Let's use our newly discovered scarf. Let me just go over this one more time. This is why Acro killed the ringmaster? That is correct. I don't think the defense would mind confirming something for me. What exactly are we supposed to learn from this piece of evidence? What are you supposed to learn? Looks like you just won the award for biggest failure in court. Ouch, biggest failure in court. What? That's so rude. So rude. Okay, let's think this through, chat. So now, what will you do, Mr. Wright? I would prefer you hurry up and prove something. Drats, now I'm really gonna have to think about this. Present something else. Okay. You know what? I wonder... Okay, this time I won't leave any doubt in my mind. May the defense remember that this court is not target practice for its theories. Very well then, please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the ringmaster. Okay, so it's definitely not any pieces of actual evidence, so I wonder if it's a profile. Well, if you think about it, I don't think Acro meant to kill the ringmaster. So, let's go to the person who I think, maybe. I think he was actually trying to kill Regina. Because, like he just said, he only considered the ringmaster and his brother family. He did not consider Regina family. So, let's give it a try. Let me just go over this one more time. Oh, I think I messed up. Alright. Alright. Special prize. Alright, chat. So now what will you do, Mr. Wright? I would prefer you hurry up and prove something. Okay, seems like I don't have the right evidence. So, because I can't keep affording to get penalties. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. I believe it was... This is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro? You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? Ringmaster wasn't your target. I was so right, chat. What did you say? Cool. I'm saying that the target of this witness's schmurderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? Bunk, 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 bunk. Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to— Yes. Yes. Again, I think he was going after Regina. Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? The birds aren't here. You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to— Ow. The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence. Okay, I think this is where we use the scarf. Alright, Mr. Wright. At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence. This better not be a bluff. You're not going to— Ow! You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. These two are finishing each other's sentences. What? There must be a special bond between whipper and whipped. Oh god. Alright, chat, we're down to the last wire. Literally our last chance. My patience is wearing thin, Mr. Wright. Okay, I'm dumb. Placed by Acro in Regina's pocket the morning of the crime. There we go. Acro, you remember this, don't you? The birds. It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, To the Schmurderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the— That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, order, order. Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours— It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. That's what I said, chat! Done. Done deal case. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived at the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it. Acro thought that it was Regina down in the plaza. That's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick, isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only gonna get harder from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Foolishly fool. Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas. Hey, I did not continue that. Made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then Tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. I think that's the pepper bottle, because that was the only thing found in the trunk. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a schmurderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. We know all about it, chat. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron. Wait, are you sure that this relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Smack. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know, I'd certainly like to know what it is. Can't answer that question, the judge is gonna think I'm bluffing. Yeah, because this bottle, small quantity of pepper. Achoo! Achoo! Oh, he's sneezing. He's sneezing up a storm. Imagine being whipped while sneezing at the same time. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. Just a bottle of pepper. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing it so this piece of decisive evidence... He was doing this because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? You claim that Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Barry's intended victim? Oh, that's easy. Boop, 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 boop. Him. Him. Who is this? This is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead? Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. Lion? Miss Regina Barry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another person. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted schmurder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? It was more than that. The lion-biting Bat was no accident at all. What? Such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There was no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, But Regina is responsible for making sure the lion... That's just a scarf. Acro. This is the scarf. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one who gave the scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. 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 Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. She covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of... Judge, I did not do that to any criminal. I did not. I did no such thing.
Done a good job.
I didn't do that, though. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Barry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. She gets it. She knows what's happening. Mr. Phoenix, right? Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? Never heard of them smiling, however. Lion sneeze. No, Judge, you cannot finish that sentence. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. He had to sneeze, poor guy. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. Poor guy. He was just like... He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. You fool! As she screams at me across the courtroom. You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma? I object. For objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix, right. This theory, you believe it? Lady, your whip doesn't scare me. You really intend to say that this is how... You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Let's try again.
Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro. You can't mean. Witness? Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of schmurder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? Same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, there is the evidence that proves that claim. You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest his problem is the Schmurder weapon, or lack thereof, to be more precise. Schmurder weapon. The bus that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eye. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but... Why aren't you going to search his room? It's like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma, total justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. You already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The Schmurder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. We took Acro directly into the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin. Taunting me. How rude. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? About them, Mr. Wright. No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Ah! Do something, Dick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust. Where is it now? Where's the bust right now? You're Phoenix Wright. You know where the bust is. I'm sure you do. Not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Seems like this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-argument looks to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Ack. Terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings to an end of the cross-examination of this witness. Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Huh? What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? Why are you asking me? Rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait. You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Very well. The defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. Schmurder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Well, if it's not... I don't even think it's at the circus anymore. So, if it's not there... You know what? Two of them reference the circus, so maybe we try the courtroom? Oh, wrong button. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obvious? Where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Well, it's not the judge's bench. It's not the prosecutor's. Unless they're just hiding it under the desk, but... Does he just have it with him? I mean, he could sneak it. He could be sitting on it. Oh god, wrong button again. Acro, sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? Birds. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy. You have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. Just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that you have... It'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. It's just... Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. She had found the Schmurder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, and the only place that you could hide it, under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. Who did she whip? You fool! How could you? Bonk bonk. Aw, you're so sad. You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them. The birds. Miss Franziska von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? Huh? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away in the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know? But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. The only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the Schmurder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. Can't believe it. Me. Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. Seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it would be funny to get him back in the same way. That's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Her brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. But she could laugh innocently while saying it, too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when he decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. Are you saying that you were a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I meant. What I mean. What? I'm nothing but a schmurderer. That's who I am. Yeah, you killed your adoptive dad. At first, I thought I'd kill myself, and I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. Just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. Man's crying foam. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. Idiot! Can't believe it. You beat me again! I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible decision. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Get the confetti, guys! Look at his little hips! Look at his little hips! I wanted to point at them. Ah! I clicked the wrong button. This court is adjourned. Damn, that took like 2 hours. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max. 1 million of them. Thank you. What's with the vibes in this room? Just thinking about Acro. No. You worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? Aw, poor Regina. I'm not crying. She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault. Sweetie pie. Matt and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina. Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro... is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that. Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making this stuff up about Acro not wanting revenge. Probably because of his brother? It would make the most sense. Because, like, you know, if his brother didn't have this accident, none of this would have happened. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. Now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Acro again. So sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's gonna happen to the circus now? Ah, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. Staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician in the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make the circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think I had brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the Berry Big Circus bigger than it's ever been. Oh. Also, you should not marry her. This girl is 16. Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry. Max. Nick. Seems like everything is gonna turn out all right here. Can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats. Oh boy. This man's laughing. What's going on? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off just as you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It's just a theory. Acro really was the killer. I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. Mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. It's my boy! My boy Edgeworth! He's got a snazzy blue coat on. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. What, did he just go on like a soul-finding trip or something? Damn. I see how it is. Heck yeah! Oh, this game only... No, this game should have another chapter, I think. Brand new episode has been added. Yo, robot hands? And robot people? Hey, yo. Alright, chat. Well, with that, we bring the final part of the case to a close. And you know what? I called it. I'ma just say this now. I called it. Once we figured out that Acro had a brother and all the drama and everything that happened, I was like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way that it wasn't Acro. And I also had a feeling that it wasn't supposed to be the ringmaster. Look at me, I'm just so smart, chat. What can I say? I should be a detective, a real defense attorney. That's what I meant. I'm actually not, because that takes a lot of money and a lot of years of school, I think. At least here in Canada. I think. I don't know. I think, let's see. What does it take to be a defense attorney, Canada? Earning a bachelor's degree followed by a law degree and successfully completing the bar admission courses and exams, and often an articling period? Yeah, so yeah, so it takes a lot of time probably to become a defense attorney here in Canada. But yeah, that was, I will say, up until like the final trial, everything made sense. It was just that final trial. I wasn't really sure like where the lines were connecting, but we figured it out on literally our last chance. I'm so terrified of like just dying and then having to do it all over again. At least if I have to do it all over again, then I can at least speed run what the answers are. But yeah. Anyway, I feel like I think we're gonna have a short stream today, chat, because I unfortunately have to get ready for work. But I super appreciate you all being here today. I should be back either tomorrow or Friday, and we'll start the fourth episode. Farewell, my turnabout. And it looks like our boy Edgeworth is coming back, so I'm excited. He probably just went on like a soul finding journey, but I feel like him and Phoenix Wright had a really bad falling out because Phoenix Wright does not want to talk about this man, which makes me sad. But that is a-okay. So, until next time, chat, I hope you have a great day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you at the next stream. Peace and